Bonjour à tous, comme vous avez pu le voir dans le titre, on va s'intéresser aux quêtes Natlan. Donc là je dois récupérer un antique nom. Voilà où j'en suis arrivé sur les quêtes d'Archon, donc je sais pas à quel niveau je suis, si j'en suis loin ou pas. Mais voilà, on va continuer la quête. L'objectif ça va être de choper le pyro sur notre personnage principal. Sur ce, c'est parti. Alors ce coffre là je l'ai pas fait encore, mais bon je pense que ça va être avec les pierres qui sont ici. Il va y avoir une énigme à ce niveau là. D'ailleurs je vais pouvoir, avant de le passer à côté, ce que je vais faire, voilà, ça, si jamais je dois repasser, au moins je l'ai marqué.
Mine is right over there. Look.
Jessica.
Nice to see you again, Wina. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least tell me why you need it first.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient name and rescue her.
Rescue her? From the Night Kingdom?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior would never make such a foolish decision. The nature of battle is unpredictable. You never know how it's going to end. Losing a friend is tragic, but when that happens...
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wina. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day. If Kachina's still holding on, then so will I.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wina? This doesn't seem like you. Life isn't complete without taking risks. That's always been your mantra.
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay? It's not like we have a spare.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather Clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacemaker, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts, so we slowly got to know each other that way.
Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe, too. She's helped us out a lot in the past.
Oh, you're the younger sister?
Yes. I'll introduce you to her sometime, but let's get back to business. Wina, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts. In the ancient in that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river. But the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman, experienced...
We couldn't do that ourselves?
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though, I could recommend someone to you.
Who?
Bichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're fishing for a name, you're gonna want...
Bichama? What?
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops. Follow the path that way.
Thank you.
Good luck. I hope
et ben, apparemment on va continuer par là-bas. Comme on a vu, la quête, il faudra récupérer Kachina. En tout cas, c'est ce qui semble être le cas. Bon, apparemment, c'est pas très loin.
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff tops. Ah, there was... Hello there, are you Vichana?
That's me. Did you need something?
What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How?
No. If you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place.
But that would mean...
Are you okay? You don't look so good.
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your request.
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we return the favor.
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living world. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood. So we have to be sure not to use it in a tribal settlement.
Wow, you got all that
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. I'll go find an open area and start setting things.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them.
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible and one's not?
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something equally intangible.
Oh, I see.
Right. I need two chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, normally you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes. But I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around...
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you. That means you're trustworthy.
I appreciate it. Even though that doesn't mean much to me. Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so...
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on the... Hang on. Hello. Do you have any...
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much for your whole...
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see. That would be...
deal?
Wait.
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as possible. Thanks.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn, Roka's the...
What? 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 What?
All right. That's everything.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Bichama mentioned.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for
Perfect. Is that the only one?
That might be tough. Tell you what, I'll take a look through these boxes.
Thank you so much. We'll wait.
Relax. Everything's going up.
I know, it's just... I could tell Bichama feels the same way about his friend that I do about Kachina. I hope this Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile of obsidian ready in a heartbeat.
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. How does...
Perfect! Thank you. How much do I owe you?
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. I'll take 3,000 mora for both. Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention Bichama just now. You running an errand. How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years now. It's about time he started to move forward.
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night, but I don't know all the details. Bichama and Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Bichama excelled at scouting and analyzing the battlefield. The two made an excellent team, and managed to beat 5 years ago. They both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage, and were placed on the same team to fight the Abyss. But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Bichama suffered an injury to his leg, while
Then what happened?
the team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Bichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon, and she agreed to let him stay behind. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded anyone's expectations. Bichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong, but because he wasn't able to do anything at all. I've tried convincing him to move forward. To stop the Abyss has caused so much suffering. Anyway, that's the...
On va lui piquer un petit peu de fer. Apparemment il y a autre chose à piquer par là-bas. changer d'équipe. On va prendre une équipe plutôt map, capable d'affronter ça, de cette situation. Donc une team map, on va prendre ça. Elle a carrément bougé cette team map. On va la recréer dans un premier temps et on va la modeler. Alors, non, ici c'était le zombie. Ici donc c'était bien. Non, on a dit gentil. Et puis ici on va garder Mamuka, je pense que ça devrait être pas trop mal. On va remplacer par Zilonen, ça pourrait être pas mal non plus.
Let's get this over with.
Et puis bah là je crois qu'on a une team qui est plutôt pas mal pour faire de la map. Ah oui, j'étais en train de me dire, j'ai toujours ma Noël. Donc c'est qu'on n'a pas changé d'équipe. On a bien changé la team map, mais pas la team... voilà. Hop. On va corriger ça. Voilà. Du coup, alors c'est par où que je dois aller? Il faut que je prenne de l'altitude.
Solidify.
Here we go.
Gather. Stabilize. Gather.
Voilà. C'est exactement ce que je voulais faire. En plus là-bas il y a l'air d'avoir une bonne tour. On va pouvoir bien grimper. L'idéal c'est que j'arrive au milieu de la... au milieu. Bon, je pense que ça va être pas trop mal. Voilà.
Stabilize.
Yahoo!
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here. When do we start?
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to go. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor. Go ahead. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a chance Malco might also be alive, fighting for survival in the Night Kingdom.
But that happened several years ago, right? The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Souls.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malco and I promised each other, even if we never managed to root out the Abyss for good, we would fight together until the end. Alright, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachin. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The Abyss will likely emerge in response.
Look at that golden thing. It must be one of those fragments Chama mentioned.
On va peut-être changer de nom avant de... On va changer d'équipe avant que ça soit trop tard. On va commencer par prendre direct ma team habituelle. Voilà, ma team favorite a été activée. Collecter.
What a nuisance.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse.
Now you shall perish! You can't run! Punishment!
Body and mind.
Shine down! You can't run!
Leave it all to me, as a dutiful maid would.
Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power of pouvoir.
Judgment!
Light out.
You can't run! How much longer, Bichama?
Not long. We're getting close. Quick, take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is getting...
The Abyss is corroding his body. Vichama, you can't keep going. You'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Oh, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong.
This power.
Hanging in there?
Malco. No, why can't I?
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Seawally. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like the spirit speaker stone was...
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to just... You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel dizzy for a while, but that's normal.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it in time.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska. We were this close to getting dragged into the explosion.
Okay, I'll be more careful next time.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Wait, where's Vichama? Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malco's ancient name. It must be completely gone by now. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew there was a slim chance, but still. And now... it's too late to save him. From the minute...
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just give him some space.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama? It looks like something's glowing.
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malco. Got any strength left?
Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words? Sure.
Too bad. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to...
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear Vichama. I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing you, hearing his voice again, it makes me... But... it also brings with it an even deeper pain.
A deeper pain?
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking, and his smile was forced. For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of it...
Vichama!
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wyna wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one step closer to danger. But I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has regrets in life, but not everyone gets the chance to make up for them. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there were still things I could have done. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have fought alongside him to the end. There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no going. That's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so...
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. Kachina will come back. I promised I would find her, and I intend to keep...
That's good to hear.
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification, the corrosion can never be fully eradicated. Thanks to her, though, you are only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check. Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell Wina the good news. Oh, and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone. We had no choice, though, so he'll probably...
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that? I don't know what you want from me.
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another. They're back.
Koichi? What are you...
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Tosca for a few minutes.
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there, all on her own, and tried to devour her. But in the end, all that did was trigger her will. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the cuckoo source. Wherever they went, she followed, getting into fights right and left.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights, so Koichi was always taking her around, apologizing.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting one minute and your friend's the next. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. She's known as the... It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting when they get older?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind, there's...
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chaska even said that wasn't like you.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Better try now than live with regrets later. That's what I say. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain yourself.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3 if a situation is so dire there's absolutely no alternative. But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know—
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought up Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous. Oh, it's like he didn't even try.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something, but you didn't listen.
This is important. If you were in my shoes...
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation...
All right, whatever.
What do you mean?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then... you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault. I can't leave...
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also not who you...
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Natlan, I need to display qualities that make me...
I also told you that managing your...
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi!
So, you're really going to go, no matter what I say?
Then support me. I'll be back. All you have to do is wait.
So, that's it. What?
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way, down to the very tone of voice. It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be safer to keep it with me.
If only Cone was here, he could have repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
The Spirit Speaker Stone might be 2 stones now.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.
Alors, est-ce qu'on va pouvoir y aller dans le fief nocturne? Je crois que j'aurais mieux fait de prendre un téléport. On va aller se poser par là-bas. Un petit peu plus bas que ce que je pensais. Voilà. Ici on sera très bien. Pour commencer. Surtout qu'il y a un téléport juste à côté. Je vois une flèche, à mon avis on va pouvoir rentrer dans... Ah, ou alors c'est dans la maison qu'ils veulent rentrer. Je pensais qu'on allait rentrer dans le fief.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else can know, or we're asking for trouble. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple factions closing in, there's nothing comforting still. All you need to do is focus on your goal. You can...
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit.
There's no need to be so modest, Dion-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate. So much that you have to worry about. But all I could do was focus on my own feelings.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Your reaction to Kachina's disappearance, I understand that feeling very well. Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down. Follow me.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the...
Wow. I've never seen this place before. There's so many...
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to this, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
Alright, we'll have a look. Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have belonged to the people.
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matava. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant fish, and his meticulous... In his eyes, I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corroded by the abyss. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process, which meant he could never go deep-sea fishing again. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch?
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience was far more valuable than the prize. In the end, he didn't want his tools to go to waste.
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime.
This is Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever without it. The talisman brought her a lot of luck in battle.
Whoa, this weapon is huge! Which tribe did it belong to?
Ah, that weapon belonged to Tenoch, a hero from 500 years ago. Strictly speaking, he didn't belong to any single tribe. That's because even before the disaster with the Abyss broke out, he had already been exiled.
Exiled?
It was a punishment, imposed out of necessity, but he accepted it all the same. He believed it was what he deserved. When the Abyss attacked, the tribes found themselves in urgent need of a powerful figure to lead them into the battle. And there was no one more courageous or resolute. He united the 6 tribes and accomplished great feats throughout the war. Ultimately, he perished. And because he had already lost his ancient name, the Ode of Resurrection was unable to bring him back. And so, he was laid to rest, alongside the countless warriors and civilians.
Wow.
Indeed, even now, his story is told.
There are so many jars and potions around here. Do they have anything to do with alchemy?
No, those belong to the Masters of the Nightwind. They're ceremonial tools used to amplify the ability to communicate. Yamaya is an expert in this field, and she taught me a lot. The tools you see here are quite traditional. Her students found them outdated, so she passed them. The contents of the jars aren't all that special. Oh, except...
Ooh, must be something really cool. What's inside?
grape juice.
Huh?
It's quite tasty, although probably
Whoa, that belt is bigger than Paimon's head.
The Collective of Plenty are known for their bodybuilding competitions and contests of strength. This belt is a symbol of great honor. The association with strength might also have been the reason the original belt was extremely heavy. It was difficult for even two people to lift, and even if a warrior had the strength to put it on, wearing it for any length of time would still leave them gasping for breath.
Sounds like...
So the owner of the original belt, Kitera, commissioned a craftsman to make a copy identical in appearance but far lighter in weight. That is the belt you see before you. He would often wear this version when training in order to protect his waist.
Or he made a lighter version so he could wear it all the time and show it off.
This flower looks like it's thriving. You must be good at taking care of plants, Archon.
This fishing basket looks familiar.
The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's culture now?
Yeah! If each item represents a different story, seems like Natlan's... Does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of...
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. But there's also a different theory, one...
At once?
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience... Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions. And eventually, the future is the same way. It exists even though it... Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call...
That does kinda make...
Humanity excels at living in the present. But too often we forget the past and neglect while the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as to come up with such a set of rules. The first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine. That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the divine throne, he used it to borrow power from the heaven, namely a framework, through which ordinary people, by holding the pilgrimage, were able to determine the strongest. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant...
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine throne and the... Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of... Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry, Paimon's so...
It's all right. I'd never get upset over... No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to... My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and we would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and my sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers, I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess.
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? As the Archon, I made a vow.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses and crafted... Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin. Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to...
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wyab is being affected by the Abyss. I was waiting for the Wyab to send me back, but then this really strong monster came and it almost killed me.
Ouais, je vais pouvoir montrer ça, y a pas de souci. Salut.
The Wyab saved me, even though its power is weakening. So I've been hiding from the monster.
Je parle pas beaucoup, c'est vrai, je suis tellement focus sur l'histoire.
The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds and seeing...
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys.
Je sais plus du tout, faudrait que je regarde, je crois que ça doit être 55 si je me trompe pas. Et je crois que au niveau du monde ça doit être 8. Non, je suis un ancien joueur, sauf que je joue pas que à ce jeu là en fait, je joue à beaucoup de jeux, donc je suis pas un joueur qui tryhard à fond.
I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me, leaving me behind. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll get all the applause and recognition.
I'm really scared. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me. I don't want to hold anyone back.
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside.
I know. I'm prepared for that.
Alright, then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with that face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
No, I just feel bad for Creep.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party.
Ouais, mais je suis pas fan. Moi j'aime bien avoir en anglais parce que ça me permet de comprendre en même temps un petit peu, même en même temps que je lis en fait.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me. There's no time to lose, so let's get going.
Ouais, mais je m'y suis fait, donc honnêtement ça me dérange pas plus que ça.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
Alors mon perso préféré c'est Noël. Son seul gros défaut je dirais c'est sa rapidité, c'est sa lenteur parce que au niveau des abysses elle vaut rien. Mais sinon à part ça, en dehors des abysses je trouve qu'elle elle est parfaite. À partir du moment où il n'y a pas de timing, elle est très bien. Là, ça c'est ma team favorite, donc Rosalia, Xinku, Shogun, Noël, donc avec Xinku qui va faire qui va geler avec Rosalia, Shogun qui va co-booter avec Rosalia pour les dégâts physiques, donc ma Rosalia elle est là essentiellement pour congeler et pour faire du dégât physique. Après qu'est-ce que j'ai d'autre? Je vais te montrer ma box. Perso. Hop. Donc voilà ma box. Donc j'ai Rosalia au niveau 90, Xinku, la Shogun, la Noël c'est mon perso favori. Mais en fait celle qui fait le plus de damage ça va être Noël, notamment avec sa défense qui a 2309. Et comme elle fait ses dégâts sur sa défense, elle tape plutôt bien. C'est des dégâts qui restent assez corrects. Après, là je vais viser la prochaine team, ça va être avec Mavuika. Donc Mavuika avec Xilonen qui est ici. Bennett, donc le trio qui est ici. Alors le build Noël, je vais y arriver. Un artefact, donc je suis sur un set gardien, donc pour la défense. Rêve opulent, pareil pour la défense aussi, donc j'ai les deux bonus à 30%. Ça fait que j'ai un bonus de 60% sur Noël. Après, le seul problème de ce set, c'est qu'il y a un set qui est un set 4 étoiles au lieu de 5. Mais comme c'est un set qui gonfle la défense, ça me dérange pas plus que ça. Au niveau des artefacts, donc sur la couronne, j'ai mis donc de l'attaque %. Ça me semble bizarre. Ah, j'ai dû modifier un truc là-dedans. Ça me semble bizarre que ça soit de l'attaque. Je suis sûr que j'ai dû modifier un truc. C'était pas de l'attaque. Ça me semble bizarre. Il me semblait que c'était de la défense que j'avais mis. C'est pour ça que ça me semble bizarre à ce niveau-là. Faudrait que je revérifie. J'ai dû modifier, je pense, des 7. Ici, bonus géo. Et ici, de la défense. Mais ici, ouais, ça me semble bizarre que ce soit de l'attaque. C'est de la défense qu'il faut ou alors du soin. Donc, je pense que j'ai dû me foirer quelque part. Je vais regarder ça. J'ai 3 gardiens. Et ici, c'est quoi? C'est un coquille de rêve opulent. C'est bizarre ce set. Coquille de rêve opulent, c'est le seul. Ah bah je pense que j'ai dû mettre rêve opulent à cet endroit là. Parce que j'avais peut-être rien d'autre à la place. Alors, je vais voir ça. Cœur du gardien. Je vais voir si j'ai un cœur du gardien qui pourrait faire l'affaire. Ouais, ça à mon avis, faut que ça déjà je dois le changer. Il faut que je mette soit du soin, soit de la def. Mais ça doit être changé ça. Bonus géo, ça c'est ok. Et ça de la def. Donc ici l'idéal ça serait de la def %. Je pense le mieux ça serait def %. Sinon en arme j'ai donc l'arme de Ito. Niveau 90. Et puis bah Noël qui est niveau 90. En constellation 6. Et pour les aptitudes, faut encore que je les monte encore. Hein. J'ai encore à monter. Je peux encore en monter une. Bah, je vais monter l'ulti. Hein. Hop, ça c'est fait. Après, j'ai donc la Shogun dans les persos que j'aime bien jouer. Donc pareil, level 90. Son arme elle est level 80, donc il manque encore un niveau à monter. Ouais, j'ai encore des trucs à faire. J'ai encore pas mal de choses à monter, hein, honnêtement. Le perso le mieux buildé, c'est Manuel. Et en deuxième perso, en bien buildé, ça serait donc Rosa, qui a donc avec elle je vis un taux crit à 100%. Je suis en taux crit. Je suis pas loin des 100%. Taux crit, voilà, je suis à 93,6. Donc le but c'est vraiment le taux crit pour son aptitude. Alors c'est laquelle? Ça doit être l'ulti je crois. Ou c'est celle-ci? Non, ou alors c'est ça. Exécuter sacrément mortel. Voilà. Je vise un maximum de taux crit pour pouvoir booster un petit peu les dégâts. Donc voilà, donc comme ça c'est un buff taux crit ne pouvait pas excéder à 15%. Donc ça veut dire que elle peut offrir 15% de taux crit à ma team. En arme, bien sûr, le Sion de la victoire pour le taux crit. Il est R5. Sinon en artefact, je lui ai mis quoi? Là aussi j'en ai 3 qui sont violets. Donc c'est les berserkers, mais le berserker m'offre du taux crit à 12%. Donc après l'idéal ça serait de changer le berserker et de mettre à la place, je pense, chevalerie ensanglantée, mais toujours avec l'optique d'avoir toujours les 100% de taux crit. Donc là par exemple c'est de la def, donc on va pas aller dessus. Ici c'est quoi? Ensanglanté, électro non, attaque non plus. Ici on est sur une flamme blême, donc on a déjà ce qu'il faut. On est sur de l'attaque. ici en plus de l'attaque, on a un taux crit à 5,8%, les autres n'en ont pas. Ici on a quoi? Flamme blême aussi. Donc là c'est un taux crit à 3,5. Là il est qu'à 2,7, donc c'est moins intéressant. Ensuite on a ici un taux crit à 3,1. Là on est qu'à 2, donc on peut envisager qu'il y en ait un supplémentaire éventuellement là-dessus, mais c'est pareil, c'est encore ça reste sur du 4 étoiles. Sinon après qu'est-ce qu'on a d'autre comme perso? Xinku que je joue également, donc avec épée rituelle. Son arme elle est au niveau 80. Donc là c'est pareil, il faut que je la monte aussi. En artefact c'est que du violet. Alors j'ai du bonus hydro 15%, du taux crit et le sacrifieur cryo qui est là pour pallier à son passif qui est non, ça doit être celui-ci je crois. Voilà, c'est ça. Attaque l'état trempé à Xinku lors du lancement. Donc pour éviter de prendre trop cher en niveau cryo, j'ai préféré lui mettre un sacrifieur cryo sur lui. Ensuite, je sais plus si j'avais montré ma Shogun, qui est donc le dernier personnage de cette team. Donc la Shogun level 90, elle a son arme signature, level 80, donc tous mes persos de ma team, ils ont l'arme qui est au minimum level 80. Est-ce qu'on peut lui monter? Non, pas pour l'instant. Artefact, je suis avec un set pour augmenter la maîtrise et l'attaque. Alors je suis pas sûr que ce soit le meilleur set pour elle, je vais aller vérifier ça. Qu'est-ce qu'il conseille? Qu'est-ce qui est conseillé? Alors, Raiden en artefact, ce qui est conseillé, c'est l'emblème du destin brisé, donc en x4, et c'est recommandé à 93,2%, donc c'est forcément son meilleur set, et je ne l'ai pas sur elle, donc il va falloir que je monte son set. Ensuite, au niveau des sets, ici c'est conseillé pareil, emblème du destin brisé, et moi je n'ai pas ce set là. Je n'ai même pas un set qui est recommandé. Ah si, j'ai le set qui est ici. Ah, je vais y arriver. J'ai celui-ci qui est recommandé. Donc ça je sais pas ce que c'est. Voilà. Ils ne mettent pas. Ah si, âme des profondeurs. Donc moi j'ai bien joué âme des profondeurs dessus. Ensuite, Rosalia pour le set artefact, on voit c'est beaucoup plus dispersé, hein. Le meilleur set c'est ancien rituel royal et il est valable qu'à 34%, donc ça veut dire qu'il y a beaucoup de joueurs qui jouent différents sets. Pour ma part, moi comme je disais, le meilleur set pour elle c'est vraiment attaque dégâts physiques, puisqu'elle va comboter beaucoup avec la Shogun. Elle va comboter beaucoup avec la Shogun, donc bien évidemment dégâts physiques un maximum, et il faut viser 100% de taux crit. Ensuite, quel autre personnage que je possède? Donc on voit, j'ai monté également Zhongli, sur lequel j'ai été déçu, notamment sur sa C6, parce que Zhongli, j'ai été farmer sa C6. Sa C6 qui lui permet d'obtenir de la restauration de PV, mais c'est quasiment inexistant honnêtement. Moi je pensais que qu'il pourrait soigner mieux que ça. 107 d'artefacts, je sais que j'y ai beaucoup touché. Donc c'est pas son meilleur set, ça c'est sûr et certain. De toute façon, comme je le joue de moins en moins, il y a beaucoup de persos qui lui ont piqué des pièces de 107. Après, qu'est-ce que j'ai d'autre? On va voir également les personnages que je n'ai pas, tant qu'à faire. Ça ira plus vite. Voilà. Alors, dans les persos que j'ai pas, donc il y a Citlali que j'ai pas mais que j'aimerais bien avoir pour jouer avec mince, je retrouve plus son nom, avec Mavuika, dans la team Mavuika bien évidemment. Citlali, un must-have. Shaska, je sais pas trop, j'accroche pas trop sur le design. Mualanik, je pense qu'il pourrait être sympa à jouer. Emily, j'ai vu qu'elle était dans les persos jouables, enfin très joués sur le contenu endgame, sur le nouveau contenu endgame, donc elle pourrait être intéressante à jouer. Donc la prochaine bannière, elle est dessus. Je verrai si je la chope ou pas. Ma priorité, ça sera l'arme. Donc si je chope l'arme d'Emily, ben, du coup je serai focus sur Emily. Par contre, si je chope l'arme de Mavuika, j'irai pas chercher Emily. Ensuite on a Sijuin avec une grosse seringue. Je sais pas ce qu'elle vaut. Liné, j'ai essayé, j'ai pas accroché. Riolet, j'ai pas accroché non plus. Navia, j'ai pas accroché. Shuri non plus. Chlorine, je sais qu'elle est jouée dans pas mal de teams. Mais après, je pense pas que ce soit le genre de perso que j'aimerais bien avoir. Nomade, je sais que c'est un personnage qui est très peu joué, mais que j'aimerais bien avoir. Ayato, donc je sais pas, honnêtement pour Ayato, est-ce que maintenant il sera encore bon, je sais pas. Chaine est très forte dans la team avec je retrouve plus le nom là, décidément, avec Skirk, donc il me manque Chaine et pour la team Skirk. Maintenant je vais pas aller forcément la poule parce que j'ai déjà fait pas mal d'invocations pour avoir Skirk. Donc du coup peut-être sur une autre fois, on verra ça par la suite. Ito, c'est un clone de Noël, donc non. Ganyu, c'est un très bon perso, mais j'accroche pas son gameplay. Ito, en plus d'être un clone de Noël, le perso qu'il faut battre, c'est le loup. Et le loup, ben, j'arrive pas à le battre. Donc c'est un des boss que j'ai du mal, que j'arrive pas à taper. Donc du coup, je suis pas plus motivé que ça pour l'avoir. Donc sur les persos qui me manquent, en numéro 1, ça sera bien évidemment Citlali. En 2, je dirais soit Muelani, soit Emily, c'est un des deux. En top 2 des persos que j'aimerais bien avoir. Et puis après, Nomade. Donc je dirais, allez, s'il y a 4 persos que j'aimerais bien avoir, ça serait Nomade, Citlali, Muelani, Emily. Donc bien sûr, en priorité, Citlali, et je sais qu'elle va revenir. Donc je vais aller la poule, ça c'est sûr et certain. Voilà. Alors en AR, donc je suis bien niveau 55, c'est bien ce qui me semblait. J'avais un petit doute, mais c'est bien ça. AR 55. Et monde 8. C'est bizarre, j'aurais pensé que c'était ici l'endroit où on aurait été dessus. Du coup, on va aller voir où ça se passe. Directement dans le feu? Non, quand même pas. C'est quoi ça au milieu? Non, c'est de la décoration. C'est pas un truc à récupérer. Bon, je vais reprendre un petit peu le chemin de la quête. Le but c'est quand même d'arriver à aller le plus loin possible. Hop, c'est par là-bas. On va voir s'il n'y a pas un point de TP. Je pense que ça doit être celui-là le point le plus proche. Ouais, et en hauteur en plus. Ouais, je suis en hauteur. Waouh, par contre j'étais en hauteur. Ah, ça va aller. C'est quoi ce truc bleu? Ah, c'est ça. Curiosité. J'ai redescendu pour de la curiosité.
No, my sword. Judgment.
Pas surpris qu'il y ait quelque chose là-bas. Maîtresse fondatrice des êtres de Cassiopée. C'est quoi ça? Ah, ça m'a l'air d'être un truc des petites quêtes, je pense. On va le marquer sur la map. En plus, elle n'est pas marquée dessus, donc on va mettre un petit truc dessus. On va reprendre un petit peu de hauteur. Est-ce que c'est bien la quête Archon, ça? Bah apparemment oui. Donc on va y aller. Alors niveau recommandé 90, ils sont tous niveau 90. Donc ça c'est bon.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had...
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really knows what the devices here are for. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time. But with the recent increase in...
So what you're saying is, we're not in for an easy trip to the Night Kingdom.
No, it's going to be
why are you all laughing?
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in, right guys?
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go. We won't let...
Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
A priori, il faut que je le prenne ça. Et là, plus carré. Ça. Ah oui, c'est vrai, c'était comme ça que ça fonctionnait. Je ne savais plus.
Professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer?
Par contre, je vois pas.
You were a warrior from the
Je vois pas le suivant.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat.
Yeah, we'll be here all day if you list them out one by one. It's much faster to just focus on what's good for you.
Such as?
Vegetable juice.
Je crois que j'aurais dû prendre...
You know, Ian-san, Paimon feels like the two of us
J'aurais dû prendre Venti là-dessus. Faut pas grimper? Ah bah hasard. Non, j'y crois pas, ils me remettent pile poil devant le coffre avec pour me faire rager. Bon bah du coup on va diminuer la puissance de l'équipe. On va rester avec... on va retirer donc la Shogun de manière à avoir la combo cryo. Et à la place de la Shogun, bien évidemment, on va mettre Venti qui pourrait être un must-have pour avancer. Venti, il va falloir que je finisse par le monter quand même. Je sais plus ce que je lui ai mis justement. On va voir un petit peu ce que j'y ai mis. En tout cas, c'est sûr, j'y ai rien mis d'intéressant d'artefact. Il y a juste la maîtrise. On va y modifier tout ça. Ombre verte, vu que j'étais enfermé, on va lui mettre de l'ombre verte. Instructeur, ça on s'en fiche, ça on s'en fiche. Voilà, comme ça il a deux ombres vertes. Et du coup, il lui manquera il a deux ombres vertes et deux instructeurs. Ici c'est quoi? C'est une vagabonde. Vagabonde Anemo. C'est parfait, ça sera très bien pour lui. Ici on est sur instructeur. Instructeur également. pour de la maîtrise. Très bien. Pour l'instant, ça me va.
Wouldn't gliding be faster? So we're underneath Natlan right now?
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own...
Toujours pas la touche pour échapper. Hein. À la place de rappel, ils auraient mieux fait de mettre suppression. Hein. On se retape tous les dialogues qu'on s'est tapés.
No, it's going to be
allez, on est parti là. Go go go.
Then let's go. Wouldn't gliding be faster? Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the collective of planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat.
Yeah, we'll be here all day if you list them out one by one. It's much faster to just focus on what's good for you.
Such as?
Vegetable juice. Want some?
You know, here-san, Paimon feels like the two of us might not see eye to eye.
Là aussi j'aurais dû prendre Ayaka. Ayaka est très bien sur ce genre d'épreuve. Il y a des cordes.
Brace yourself.
On va essayer de voir si le piaf il est capable d'aller sur les cordes. Est-ce qu'il y a une corde capable de relier? Peut-être celle-ci. Eh ben, il est pas très fort apparemment sur les cordes. Allez, on va encore modifier l'équipe. On n'est pas en train de choisir l'équipe en fonction du build pour l'instant. On est en train de chercher à avancer sur la corde. modifie l'équipe.
A pleasure to be working with you.
Et ben, il a l'air plus compliqué qu'il en avait l'air quand même. Je pensais pas galérer à ce point. On va se retaper encore le dialogue.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins?
Et me revoici.
Wait! You mean like the elemental?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived these ruins.
So what you're saying? No. It's going to be up.
It's the pre...
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go.
Ah, mais je pense à ça, j'avais pas pensé à ça. Parce que je viens de voir Yansan, mais peut-être que Yansan sur les cordes, il est peut-être bon.
Seems like the road ends here. How should we get across?
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat.
Yeah, we'll be here all day if you list them out one by
Je
one.
voulais impérativement prendre la corde, mais j'avais pas vu qu'il y avait un passage juste là.
Vegetable juice. Want some?
You know, Ian-san, Paimon feels
Bon, bah,
like the two
à
of
force
us
d'avoir
might not
modifié
see
l'équipe,
eye to
j'espère
eye.
que je vais pas galérer.
Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Bon, Mais maintenant que je sais comment il faut passer, on va se reprendre l'équipe de base. Parce que je pense que sinon je risque de galérer à force d'avoir tout modifié ma team. Surtout que je pensais que j'aurais besoin de Venti, mais non, j'en ai pas besoin. Pareil pour Ayaka, je vais pas en avoir besoin, donc on va reprendre la team originelle. Ce sera nettement mieux. Du coup, on modifie l'équipe et on se reprend la team originelle. Ah punaise, qu'est-ce que j'ai fait encore comme bêtise? Oui, ils sont tous à l'envers. Donc ici c'est Rosa. Ici c'est... Hop, on va mettre elle pour l'instant.
Want me to come along?
On va changer tout. Donc ici Zexinku. Hop. Ici le Shogun. Et ici Noël. Ah punaise, j'ai plus beaucoup de batterie. On va changer de manette. Et me voici de retour. Donc du coup on a la team au complète. Du coup on est parti. Et on va se retaper pour la 4e fois le dialogue. C'est génial. Bon bah, pendant le dialogue, moi je vais me faire un café. J'attends que le dialogue il ait commencé. Hop.
So we're underneath Natlan right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? You mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own advanced civilization?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really knows what the devices here are for. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time, but with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around here have somehow been activated again.
So what you're saying is, we're not in for an easy trip to the Night Kingdom.
No. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle from here on out.
Why are you all laughing like that?
It's the Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Then let's go.
Allez, on est parti. Maintenant on connaît le chemin. C'est ce qu'il faut faire. Donc déjà on prend le piaf, le grappin pour aller là, une fois, le grappin pour aller par ici, et décidément, donc c'est toujours l'oiseau, donc de tous les cas, voilà, là on est bien. Ensuite on ne va pas sur la corde, on va sur la pierre qui est ici. On prend le deuxième grappin. Le troisième, tiens c'est bizarre. On va regarder s'il n'y a pas... un coffre caché des fois, on sait jamais. Vu que ce sera la dernière fois qu'on va y aller dedans, je pense. Autant bien regarder. A priori, il n'y a pas l'air d'y avoir de coffre.
Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Bon, et maintenant on n'a plus besoin du piaf.
There is no escape.
Yeah, punishment. Let me weave you a verse.
Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered.
No, my sword. Witness the power.
Shiver. Torn to oblivion.
Bon, ça a été assez facile. Pour l'instant, on a le droit à un changement activé.
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
Je me demandais s'il n'y avait pas un coffre par là. C'est l'impression que ça donnait. De toute façon, je vais pas savoir grimper.
There is no escape.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter.
You can't run.
Lights out.
Illusion shattered.
Du coup, je pensais être en ulti.
Now you shall perish. Shine down. Illusion shattered.
Bon, les seuls moches de l'abîme que je crains le plus, c'est ceux qui me congèlent, qui me mobilisent, en espérant ne pas les croiser. Mais décidément, je crois qu'ils veulent nous faire traverser tous les stades d'évolution des animaux.
Shine down! Know my sword! Punishment! Witness the power of good! Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered! You can't run! Shiver! Let me read you a verse. Shine down! Inazuma shines eternally!
Bon, pour l'instant ça va, j'ai même pas eu le temps de dégainer mon main.
There is no escape.
Et elle a son ulti en plus.
Rain outlines your fate.
Hop, et bah ils ont tous leur ulti. Parfait. Bon, ça me semble trop facile, on va vérifier qu'il n'y a pas un coffre caché. Là, je crois que c'est l'endroit où je viens. Non, il n'y a pas l'air d'y avoir de coffre. Bien, on fait bien le tour, on sait jamais. En tout cas, ça n'a pas l'air. Ils n'ont pas l'air d'avoir de cachet de coffre. Pour les curieux comme moi. Non. On retourne sur celui-ci. Non, c'est pas ça. Voilà, c'était celui-là.
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it. Easy for you to say.
Oula. Ah bah oui, bien sûr, R2.
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about. The one ripped open by the Abyss.
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
We actually have to go in there? Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't put...
C'est la même chose que Skirk. À mon avis, ça doit pas être pour rien. Je pense qu'on va pas tarder à voir Skirk. Ça me surprendrait pas.
Looks like we made it. This is the night. Oh, it looks so different from what I imagined in the stories. That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the first...
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there?
Oh. Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came out completely unscathed. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do is stand underneath the light and offer a prayer.
That's it? You really think that little of Paimon? That's not even why Paimon asked.
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and bring her to this location.
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world. It's a
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility's not great either.
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Ghost! Attacking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right? Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malco. I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed a mysterious power calling out to me. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. Of course, it could only do so much. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker Stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, we could have done much more. But we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have been in danger.
Ah, y a pas d'heure pour les braves. Ah, faut que je réussisse. J'ai envie de récupérer le côté pyro de mon perso.
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that. Under the power of the stone, it felt like our... Turns out even our regrets were exactly the same.
Whether in triumph or death, you want your best friend by your side.
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but it's not too late for you. You're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment of abyssal power. I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severely corroded by the Abyss.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ouch!
Quick, get back here. Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being.
Ok. C'est un bouclier. Ouais, je sais, mais de toute façon, il y a rien de ouf chez le voyageur. Mais je sais que c'est utilisé dans certaines compos. Notamment sur le endgame. Donc à voir, peut-être que ça peut peut-être débloquer certaines choses, je sais pas encore.
could. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
Sans les monstres.
I'll catch up. Time to clean up.
Ouais, mais en dendro, honnêtement, j'ai mieux quand même. J'ai Aleitam, j'ai je sais plus comment il s'appelle, celui qui soigne aussi. Oh punaise, qu'est-ce que je mange? J'ai plus mon bouclier. J'aurais peut-être dû prendre un soigneur. Je suis à R55.
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Did you hear that? What? Never mind. It was probably just my imagination.
Don't scare Paimon like that!
I heard it too. It was a voice from the abyss.
What did it say?
It doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't harbor good intention.
Ah bah voilà, Kachin. Oh non, les loups. C'est ce que j'aime le moins, ceux-là. Ouais, mais sur le boss de Ito, les loups, j'arrive pas à les battre.
Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters.
C'est la corrosion qui fait mal.
Leave it all to me. Judgment! Know my sword! Shiver! Witness the power of Gugwa!
Ouais, mais j'ai jamais réussi, hein, le boss de Ito, pas moyen. Après, j'ai pas Ito, donc à la limite, c'est pas trop gênant pour moi. En plus, je trouve que c'est un clone de Noël. Donc, je le trouve même moins bien que Noël. J'ai pu le tester et j'ai pas été convaincu.
Had a girl. You did so well.
Should we start heading back then?
Actually, I have a request. will you come visit the Waya with me? I can't exactly put it into words, but something's wrong with the Ode of Resurrect.
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen here certainly seems...
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wayab of each tribe. You can think of them like the body of each Wayab. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wayab can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wayab can extend their consciousness over the entire realm and track down souls no matter where they roam. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night Kingdom.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably wouldn't...
Still, we can't just leave the Wayab to suffer. It's protected me this whole time.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the night.
Kachina? What's... Nothing. Just a headache. And that voice again, telling me...
Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been here for too long.
No, I'm fine. I don't plan on listening to that nonsense. Just up ahead. I'll lead the way. Besides, I can still fight, so please, help me out a little longer.
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you.
Ouais, je sais, il y en a plein qui sont surpris que je préfère en anglais.
You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit. All right. The sooner we get this...
We've already come all this way, so we must...
Let's go. This...
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss Monster.
All by yourself? That's too dangerous.
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I'm definitely more familiar with the area. I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not particularly fond of goodbyes. So go. Achieve your goal. And return to the world where you belong.
Thank you for everything. You're a true hero.
No one fights alone.
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine. I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that.
Bonne question. Ouais, c'est ça, chapitre 5, acte 2.
Body and mind. Time to act.
Wayab? Wayab! I'm back! My friends and I are here to heal you. Wayab, can you hear me?
So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. It's preventing the Wayab from answering our calls.
Ah ok, ça marche.
Alright, get ready everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
Careful. We've got company.
Already?
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? Courage in the face of futility is pure folly. He tried to get in my way, so I disposed of him.
You killed Malcolm?
You would have dispersed with or without me. Rather than worrying about him, I would urge you to focus. You may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate me now, and it will be to your peril. No, the power of the Abyss is intoxicating. The destruction it seeks captivates like a masterful work of art. I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out humanity is full of lambs willing to offer themselves up to the... That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand ancient names, pride, friendship, all empty ideas invented to give you a false sense of self. The Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. Anything to avoid shit. Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina, remain so
Kachina, give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right here next to you.
Thanks, Milani. You're right. Because I'm not alone anymore.
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power. But you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand the true source of our power.
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? It comes from the power lies not in the ideal itself, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal, and in our decision to stand together and fight!
Well said!
Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance, but you deserve what's coming to you!
There aren't many in Natlan who can beat us when we're together. It's time he got a taste of that kind of power.
From the ashes to this world anew.
Let's shred, Sharky! Hey! Ha!
Revelation from on high! A glimpse of the beauty.
Right here! Drilling down!
That's what he gets for underestimating you two. Fantastic work, Kachina. Absolutely. This makes me so unbelievable.
I'm happy too, Mualani. Together we really are unstoppable.
Huh? My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean you're...
That was a bold move. Diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend. Especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption. Still, seeing you pull it off was really something. Everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, we stand... It took years' worth of scars, and lots of unnecessary suffering. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Everyone has a... Only then will we have the power to defeat the strong.
Who are you?
Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of Natlan.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspirations of the Wayab. Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from it.
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with the gaze of all Natlan. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
What's wrong, Mom? So many memories. So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts to save Natlan started all the way back then.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to. I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also part of the plan.
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's focus on saving the Wayab first. Okay, that should be enough. Wayab, can you...
I hear your voice, Kachina. My dear child.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I just wanted to make sure you were okay before we leave. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon someone like me, but it's okay. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer. I'll never stop trying to improve my strength. One day...
You are already an outstanding child in my eyes, Kachina. No matter what happens.
Huh?
You are all my most beloved children. It has always been my honor to protect and nurture you. Your ancient name is just that. A name. Much like your parents chose to name you Kachina, I also gave you a name, but it need not define you. Focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. Now, you need only devote yourself to the story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents, my love for you will...
Thank you, Wayab.
It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. But it's time for you to leave this place. Go now, my children. Save Natlan on behalf of all you...
I know we've never met before, Wayab, but I just wanted to say... Thank you for encouraging Kachina. It was exactly what she needed to hear.
Whoa! What's going on? And...
We're out of time.
It's the power of the Abyss. Quick, we need to run!
It's a Sealy! The Sealy opened the way for us!
Moi je voulais passer par dessus mais en fait c'était en dessous. Loupé.
You've done well. Now come home.
Et même la fin de l'acte 2, je m'attendais pas à ce qu'elle apparaisse comme ça, quoi.
The Pyro Archon saved us. But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
She's still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
So you're saying her consciousness?
Every great display of power comes at a price. You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. We'll get you to a doctor soon. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a...
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage gets left behind.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right. You always seem to do pretty well against the Abyss.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned in the Night Kingdom as well.
Right. The Wyatt mentioned something about the Pyro Archon's plan. What is...
I'll let her explain everything. We're all a part of the plan now. Every move we make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate fate.
Alors, il y a un point de TP. Et on est quoi? On a changé d'acte? On est toujours dans l'acte 2, ok. Bon, on doit être sur la fin de l'acte 2, je pense.
Work hard and live each day to the fullest. That is what life in Mondstadt is all about, isn't it?
Alors. L'intérieur.
less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one. All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days. I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its power.
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions. Just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure things out between...
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated
500 told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded, but unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization, and even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains at... The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and if we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500...
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it...
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our... A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribe. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old, 500.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the sacred flame.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them from the side. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wayab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose.
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, But there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire. On their own, each item's power is limited. But together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the two worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the Abyss. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to... If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply... If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of...
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus...
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing...
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to... Alright. You should head out. I'll join...
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life, even when they cause trouble. I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
civilization is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I've faced in battle many times. Were that not the case, I would never understand. My rage will never know absolution, then my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as a Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die.
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry, even across time. We will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Seriously, though? Dad should be here. Where is...
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next
war. Forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory, and let those who grew alongside Sun and those who forged our own destiny, and that is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
Ah bah ça fait du bien de se perdre. Un petit coffre en plus. Bon bah a priori il faut aller tout en bas je pense. Non c'est pas ça.
Oh no, I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave. It's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just...
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so...
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the night.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while, at least. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder to help her. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Hyman's had enough...
Toujours dans l'acte 2. Hop, ça tombe bien, ça j'ai pas. Je suis en train de regarder où c'était, combien j'en possède. Donc ça j'en ai pas du tout. Ça non plus, ça non plus, ça non plus. Et ça j'en ai, ok. Il n'y a pas beaucoup de choses que je possède alors. J'en ai 5, 25. Bon, on va essayer d'en avoir au moins une vingtaine, je pense que ça sera pas mal. Donc ça on peut en prendre encore. Et puis après le reste, je pense qu'on est plutôt pas mal.
let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild, so I stopped to bandage his wounds. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would have no trouble replacing me.
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams too.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars. That's the highest honor.
So, what about you guys? Did you make it?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day. We got disqualified.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
All right. There's no need to be like that, Uncle. Dear friends, I'd like to firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back. This traveler and her companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate in the pilgrimage, I have no doubt that they'd win the whole thing. They've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even stronger still. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the traveler and Paimon figure out a way to bring me back. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So...
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero, Kachina?
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. It all just feels... Well, you better get used to it! Next up, undefeated champion! Hey, please don't make fun of me.
You're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite!
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. And imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
I'm suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, The truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. But of course, still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
Doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side. Whatever it takes. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important fit. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Ancient name?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0. Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the one who will forge the name. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled. You don't have much time.
I'm beginning to see just how you heard something from here, didn't you?
Mais où? Ah non, là. Dans une autre quête. Activer le mode focalisé. Bon, on va après attaquer le chapitre 5, acte 3. J'ai mis sur focus, comme ça moi je suis tranquille à ce niveau-là. Voilà. Bah écoutez, je pense qu'on va arrêter là et puis on reprendra par la suite. Sur ce, ciao ciao, à bientôt pour les prochaines vidéos.